Hey there people, it's your favorite WeedleTwineedle, finally bringing you a Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle video. I know, I should have been posting these sooner, but I have been enjoying Scarlet and Violet casually. You know, in my day drive era shiny hunting, I've been streaming it a bit here and there, and just been taking my time and enjoying the generation before, competitive ruins my perception of the new Pokemon. If you all are excited for the Scarlet and Violet battling content and want to support the channel and my content and what I do here on YouTube, make sure to leave a like on the video, watch until the end of the video, and make sure to comment on the question of the day, which is going to be, which Pokemon or strategy would you like to see me utilize in my future videos? Let me know in the comments, and if you see a suggestion you also like to see me use, you can upvote and reply to them being like, yes, Weedle, use this now, or like add on to their suggestions. So I do have a Discord server as well. If you want to join that, a link to that will be in the description. A Pokemon community, you can hang out, battle, trade, do raids, and just have a good time with Scarlet and Violet. Also, very big shoutouts to those who left the super thanks on my recent content. It's a feature YouTube added where you could show extra financial support to creators you really enjoy. It's of course entirely optional, like just watching my content really means so much to me, like you have no idea. So as you can see by my team, I am packing a basically mono generation 9 team for my first battle. I figure it'd be fun, so I have Skeledirge because I did pick Fuecoco as my starter. Arboliva or Arboliva, I love her. I don't know how you say her name, but I love her. I am also packing Low Kicks, Glamora as well, because Glamora is a new Pokemon that I know a lot of people don't like, but there's a funny inside joke with the channel and the live streams if you've been watching. I'm also packing Lady Kaka, Espathra, one of my new favorite Pokemon from this generation, and might be my new favorite Pokemon from Gen 9. It has such a funny design, and it has a lot of cool tools, and I love me some psychic type Pokemon, and this thing is just all that and more. And then last but not least, it's Annihilate. It's like a try-hard broken Pokemon that will probably be banned from overuse, but I wanted to give it a shot because I do think it's a cool design and cool concept, and I don't know, Rage Fist is cool. I may make a team around it in doubles, we'll see. Like, I think it's a cool thing, but it's definitely a little strong. But I gotta use some strong Pokemon. I don't know what the hell's going on. The generation just started. I should just use like what I want and have fun. Speaking of having fun, my first opponent today is packing a pretty strong looking team. They're packing the new pseudo legendary and Baxcalibur, Grimmsnarl as well, Goldengo, who's also pretty strong because its ability is really insane. They're also packing Annihilate, so I don't feel that bad using Annihilate because they also have Annihilate, okay? Rotom Wash as well, the tried and true Rotom Wash. You can never really go wrong with Rotom. And then they also have Dragapult. Dragapult seems to be good because like of Infiltrator, it can go through all that like Shed Tail sub cheese, so yeah, that's my opponent's team, and without further ado, let's get into the very first Scarlet and Violet battle on the channel. Okay, so we're challenged by this bitch with red hair, and I can't read their name because I can barely speak English, let alone foreign languages. So yeah, the grandma's just jamming out in the background. Wait, I love her. Okay, they're gonna lead off with Rotom Wash. I'm gonna lead off with Gita's wig, and anyone who watched my streams will understand this nickname because, or if you just look at Gita herself, you're like, wait a minute, that's kind of her wig, and it's true, and it's also her, spoilers, it's her like signature Pokemon. Like, it's Cynthia's Garchomp, but this is her wig, so she just fucking takes off her wig when she fights you, and it's iconic. So anyway, Rotom Wash is gonna go for Will-O-Wisp. I go for Mortal Spin because I didn't want to go for Hazard Stack immediately. I figured Rotom Wash might carry Defog. I don't think it gets Defog anymore, but I'm just like, Hazard seems a little too obvious. Let me go for the new signature move it gets, which is Rapid Spin, but also poisons the enemy because Power Creep is cool. So I'm gonna switch out of Gita's wig, and I'm gonna bring in my Arboliva, my extra virgin olive oil, and I know they're gonna go for a Volt Switch or Hydro Pump or another Will-O-Wisp, whatever, so I just switch in and I take it really well because this thing's really bulky, and we're going to activate the Seed Sower, the Walmart Grassy Surge, and we actually have Terrain Extender on this bitch as well. So we have 8 turns of grassy terrain to enjoy, and this also works really well with my leftover Skeledirge because you get like leftovers recovery and grassy terrain recovery, and you have Yawn Protect with Hex. It's kind of evil, I'm not gonna lie, but you know what, I figured my first team I might as well try to use some decent strategies with, rather fun Pokemon, I guess. I don't know how popular most of the stuff is. Anyway, I'm gonna bring out Annihilate. I know this bitch is really popular. Annihilate is broken, and I wouldn't be surprised if Rage Fist or Annihilate themselves gets banned by Smogon because Smogon are babies. But, it's actually pretty valid because Annihilate is very scary and can get out of hand very quickly. And I actually decided to switch out because, I was like, wait, I tried to double switch there, and then I double switched into a Dragapult, so I outplayed myself. So I switched into my Low Kicks, get hit by a Spec Shadow Ball, I assume, because it does almost half. And it gets the F drop, so I'm like, well, let me just Sucker Punch because, like, what else am I gonna do? They don't know this thing gets Sucker Punch, they're not gonna switch out. And so I'm like, Sucker Punch, and they don't switch out, and I'm like, yes, goodbye. No, it lives, and then Low Kick's gonna get knocked out by a Shadow Ball. But to be honest, I kind of deserve this because I'm running Silver Powder over Life Orb. I should have given it Life Orb, but I figure, you gotta think about that stuff when you make your teams. This is my very first battle, so if I use Lokix in the future, I'm definitely giving that bitch a life orb, even though it's weak to hazards. Who cares? I'm gonna bring back in my Arboliva, and you know, the funny thing is that they brought in Dragapult against this thing beforehand, but I'm pretty sure this thing would 1v1 Dragapult pretty easily, even on a Spec Spire Blast, because I do have some Spadef EVs and Mirror Coat. But now I'm gonna go for the Terrain Pulse, as they're gonna bring in their Baxcalibur with a really scary cry. That thing sounds like Ridley or something, like an actual scary dragon, which is kind of cool. So I actually checked my terrain turns. I see I have 3 terrain turns left, so I'm like, okay, let me Memento on this bitch, because it's a pseudo legendary. It's probably gonna set up, and what do you know? It goes to the Dragon Dance. I mean, I don't know what else it's gonna do. I think one of the new ice types, the Titan, gets Belly Drum, but this thing only gets Dragon Dance. I don't know, but I go for the Memento into this bitch, because I'm like, bitch, you're not going to set up and sweep me. I'm gonna turn the tables on you. So I go for Memento, knock out my extra virgin olive oil, which is fine. Arboliva takes one for the team, and now, after the Grassy Terrain recovery, I'm gonna bring in my Lady Kaka, my new favorite Pokemon of this generation. I won't say it's my all-time favorite, but I love this bird so much. It has such very cool abilities. We're gonna get the Grassy Seed here, because I did combo this very well with the Arboliva. You set up the Grassy Seed, and then you're really bulky with max HP, max defense. Go for Calm Minds, get Speed Boost, Stored Power. You know I love me some Stored Power sweeping. Like, this thing is just Swoobat, but actually good. So go for Calm Mind right here. And I don't think this thing can knock me out, because I use Memento. I think it's at like neutral attack, or you know, +1 attack. Either way, I could just tank it most likely. And just to be on the safe side, I'm like, let me Terrestrialize real quick. But then my opponent decides to Terrestrialize. I'm like, wait, that's really scary. So they Terrestrialize. I'm like, bitch, okay, they're gonna go into Ice, Steel, Fairy.
What the fuck kind of bug is that? Oh, bitch, an eyelash bug. Ooh, this is bitch. I'm
okay, that's not what I was expecting. Like, of all things to tear it into, you tear it into like the worst type. Like, that's kind of embarrassing. But I'm gonna Terrestrialize into a Steel type, because I wanted to use Fairy, but I didn't get 50 Terra Shards for Fairy, and so the one I caught in like the raid had a Steel, so I'm like, okay, bitch, you are a Steel bitch. And it actually works, because you know, Steel is a really good defensive typing, and in this situation versus this bug attack, I'm going to take absolutely nothing from a bug Terra Blast. And now my Espathra with the axe in the head, which is kind of brutal, gonna go for another Calm Mind, and this thing really can't hurt me. I Terrestrialized just to tank a crit Ice or Dragon move, basically. I did not think they were gonna Terrestrialize there, and if they did, I did not think it was gonna be Terrestrial Bug. What the hell? Like, that's so goofy. Why? Why would you? You know what? They probably just caught this from a den, just like I did with this Espathra, and they didn't have enough crystals to change it, so I totally understand. But I'm gonna go for the Stored Power. I even PP maxed that shit, or PP upped it, because PP ups are really cheap in this game. Get a crit as well, because Espathra and I are iconic. And I actually found a shiny one too, and Lady Kaka actually fits shiny Espathra much more than you know, regular, but you know, Lady Kaka can still be a speed boosting bitch. I know a lot of people don't like Espathra because Speed Boost and Stored Power is kind of cheap, I'm not even gonna lie, but I love Stored Power, so you know, I get a pass, I don't care. So anyway, gonna go for Protect, and the Goldengo, this thing's also really broken because it can like block every status move in the game. They go for a Nasty Plot on my Protect, so I'm like, oop. Did I get red on Tuesday, or did they just randomly go for Nasty Plot? I don't know, but either way, I'm like praying that I can live. And I check my boost, I'm like, okay, my +2 Spadef, I have +4 speed, and a defense boost. So Stored Power should knock this thing out. It's not that bulky. And then I forgot, like, this thing is better than Aegis/Loki. It eats this shit up. And I'm like, oh, goodbye, Espathra. You are so over. But we actually take the Shadow Ball, surprisingly, because Espathra is really bulky with its high HP stat, and we do have a few Combines under our belt. I was going to run Roost on this set, but I figure Protect with the Grassy Terrain. I didn't really feel like going through the trouble, even though it was just an easy Mirror Herb and like something that was Roost, but whatever. If I use this set again, I might go Roost over Protect, but I don't know. We'll see. I also have Toxic Spike, so Protect can be nice there. I don't know. And if you use recovery moves online, the timer. So, you know what? I'm valid with my Protect. I have Flash Cannon, so this Grimmsnarl is gonna die. But then a Sucker Punch, I'm like, no, but Espathra lives at 8 HP because Lady Kaka doesn't give a shit with her +1 defense. And Flash Cannon into that Grimmsnarl, going to eviscerate that bitch. And yeah, Espathra is just destroying this person in my very first battle. But they're gonna forfeit here because they're like, bitch, this Espathra, I can't. Lady Kaka is too much for me. So we're able to defeat our very first opponent on the channel. Hopefully you all enjoyed that battle. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, but that will do it for me. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. I love you all very, very much, and I'll check you all in my next video. Or live stream. I don't know.